another web page, that means you're supposed to create two pages. On first page you're supposed to create two buttons, okay, and here on the second page, on another web page, where the background color changes automatically after dash seconds. Here you are not going to click anywhere, or you're not going to move your mouse pointer. Whenever, as soon as your page gets open, then only the background colors should start changing the colors, and 7 colors you are supposed to change here also. Okay, this event must be triggered automatically when the page gets loaded in the browser. Whenever your page get loaded in the browser, then the color should change automatically, and 7 distinct color you are supposed to use. Okay, when the page is unloaded, now another part of this, when the page is unloaded, the second page, when that second page is unloaded, like when you close the web page, that time the appropriate alert message should be displayed. That means you are supposed to display a message on the screen after closing the window. Okay, so when your page load on the web browser, then you are supposed to change the color automatically, and when you unload your page or when you close your web page, at that time you should display the appropriate alert message on the display of your web browser. Okay, now we will see the solution step by step. First part, the first half part is create a web page in HTML having white background and two button object. So to create a web page, we use HTML head, title, body, right? In body, if it is white background, then you're not supposed to mention any color here, but if you want to mention any color, then you are supposed to use BG color, but the background should be white, so no need of using BG color here. Okay, then body, then two buttons, right? So for buttons we use button tag. Okay, button is a tag where it is used to create the button on the screen. Okay, so button on mouse over is an event handler. As I told you in question, it is mentioned that when the mouse is placed over, correct, when the mouse is placed over the first button, that means you're supposed to use which event? On mouse over event. Okay, this is on mouse over event. When you move your mouse pointer on this button, at that time it will call a function fun1. Okay, this is the action and this is the event handler. Okay, so what event will occur? On this mouse over, it will call a function fun1. And what is the label of the button? The label of the button is change background color. This is the label of the button. Okay, and then you are supposed to close the button tag. Got it? And another button is button on click fun status. Now we are calling another function fun status to display the status on the status bar. Okay, and it is mentioned that when the second button is clicked, at that time you should change the status of the web page should change, right? So for that you are supposed to click another button, you are supposed to create another button, and the event handler will be on click, because when you click on that button it should change the status, right? So on clicking on this button, this is the event handler on click, and this is a function which is going to be called when we click on this button, and the label on the button is change status. Got it? So there are two buttons created. See, in the output also there are two buttons created. See, the first button is change background and the second button is change status. Okay, so we have created two buttons. First button is change background and second button is change status. Okay, now we have created these two buttons in body tag. Now next part of this is what we are supposed to do. We are supposed to call a function now, right? This is the first part, to change the color. Okay, when the mouse is placed over the first button object, this is the first button object, and when the mouse is placed over, it will call a function fun1. right? Now what is there in fun1? The color of the background of the page should change after every dash second, and there should be at least 7 different color. So for that you are supposed to create a function. How to create a function? It is a part of script tag. How to create a function? To create any function we use function keyword first. After function keyword, it is followed by a function name, right? The function keyword is followed by a function name. So this is a function name and this is a function keyword. This is the declaration of a first function fun1, which has been called here, right? When we click on the button, when we mouse over, when our mouse will get over on the button, it will call a function fun1. So this is the function calling. We are calling a function here, and what is there in the function, we are declaring that thing here in this function fun1. Okay, so we are creating a function, we are declaring a function here. To declare a function we require a function keyword, and after function keyword we require a function name. Okay, this is the same name which we have called here fun1. Okay, so the same function name should be here in declaration also. Got it? Now after that, document.bg color is equal to red. After mouse placed over on the button, what happened? It should change the background color, right? So how to change the background color? Document.bg color. This bg color is a property of this document object. Okay, so document.bg color is equal to whatever color you want to change, you can write here after the equal to sign in double quotes. Okay, so document.bg color is equal to red. I want to change the background color from white to red. Got it? Then window.setTimeout. Now you are supposed to change 7 different colors. So this is the first color we have changed, right? Now after changing the first color, after how many seconds you want to change the another color? So I want to change the color after 3000 milliseconds. Now set timeout is a function. Set timeout is a function which is a function of window object. It is a method, it is a method of window object. Okay, set timeout is a method of window object which is used to call any function after any milliseconds. So there are 2 parameters of this set timeout method. The first parameter is a function calling and the second parameter is the time in milliseconds. So after 3000 milliseconds I want to call another function, that is fun2. Got it? The first function is called when we move our mouse pointer on the button. Correct? At that time we call a function fun1. Now when the fun2 is called, when after 3000 milliseconds of this function we call fun2 function. Now what is there in fun2 function? The similar thing. First we change the color from red to blue, white to red, then red to blue. Correct? And then after that we are going to call another function, that is fun3, to change different color after 3000 milliseconds. So every after 3000 milliseconds it will call a function and will continue changing the colors. See, fun3. In fun3 we are calling fun4. In fun4 we are again changing the color and calling fun5 after 3000 milliseconds. In fun5 we are again changing the background color and we are calling another function, that is fun6 after 3000 milliseconds. In function 6 we are changing the color into red and we are again calling another function, that is fun7 after 3000 milliseconds. Now this is the 7th color. In fun7 we are again changing the background color into rose color and then we are calling the function 1. Why we are calling a function 1? Because we are supposed to create a cycle. Continuously we are supposed to change the color, right? So to continue this cycle we are supposed to call the function fun1 again. then it will call function fun2, then fun3, fun4, fun5, fun6, fun7, then again fun1. So this cycle will continue till you close the page. Okay, so this is the first part of this. Now see the output, you will understand what is happening. Say we have created two buttons. In first button we have called the function fun1, right? So when we move our mouse pointer on this, when we move our mouse pointer on the button, first button, see, it will change the white color into red color. After 3000 milliseconds it will change it to blue, then cyan color. Like this it will continue changing the color. Okay, yellow, the last one is rose, right? Green, okay, black, red, again blue. So it will continue changing the colors. Okay, see, the cycle is continue, right? Every after 3000 milliseconds it will call another function, and at the end it will call the first function, and then the cycle will continue again. Okay, so this is the first part of this. Now what is the second part? The second part is, on this page we have to display a status on the status bar when we click on the second button. So on clicking on the second button we are calling a function that is fun status. Okay, and what is there in fun status? In fun status we have displayed window.status is equal to. Status is a property of window object which will set the mentioned status on the status bar. So window.status is equal to congratulations, practical successfully completed. Okay, so this message is going to be displayed on the status bar when we click on this button, on the another button. The name of the button is change status. Okay, now see the output. This is the another button. When we click, see, when we move our mouse pointer nothing is happening, but when we click on this it will change the color. See, it will change the status into congratulations, practical successfully completed. Previously the status was, now see, okay, moved, color starts changing, and when we move here nothing is happening and the status is done, right? When we click here, after clicking it will call a function and change the status to congratulations, practical successfully completed. Got it? So this is the first part of your question, SOP question 1. Now what is the second part? See, we will see the second part now. The second part is, again you are supposed to create a page, okay, where the background color should change automatically. How to change the background color automatically? That means when you open your page, at that time only, when your page gets loaded in the web browser, at that time only you're supposed to change the color, correct? You start changing the color from there only. So for that there is an event called as onload event. Onload means when the page loaded on your web browser. Okay, onload event occurs when the page loaded on your web browser, when the page open on your web browser. At that time this event occurs. So onload of the body is equal to fun1. Now we are calling the same function where when the page loaded on the web browser at that time. So this is an event handler and this is the action. So onloading of the page on the web browser, we are calling a function fun1. And the another part is, when page is unloaded, the appropriate alert message should be displayed. So on unload means when we close the page, at that time the page gets unload. Okay, when we close the web page, at that time the page gets unload. So there are two events. One is onload, that means when page open on the web browser, and on unload means when the page gets unloaded or closed from the web browser, at that time this event occur. Okay, so on unload we are calling another function pop msg, pop message. This is the another method. So there are two functions which are going to be called. First function is called on load event, and second function is called on unload event. Okay, so these are two functions. Now see, when the page gets loaded, at that time it is calling a function fun1. So this is the coding for function fun1. The same coding, document.bg color, we will change the color first, and then after a few milliseconds we are calling another function. Then again in function 2 we are changing the color, and then after few milliseconds we are calling another function, that is fun3. In fun3 we are changing the color and we are calling another function fun4 after 3000 milliseconds. In fun4 we are changing the color and we are calling another function, that is fun5 after 3000 milliseconds. In fun5 we are changing the color into yellow and we are calling another function fun6 after 3000 milliseconds. In fun6 we are again changing the color into green and we are calling another function, that is fun7 after 3000 milliseconds. And in finally fun7, the last color we change, that is rose, and we are calling fun1 after 3000 milliseconds. The program is totally same, just the difference is in first part we are moving our mouse pointer on the button. At that time the function 1 is called, and here when the page gets loaded on the page web browser, at that time we are calling a function fun1. There is no button created on this web page. Okay, now when the page is unloaded, now second part of this, when the page is unloaded, the appropriate alert message should be displayed. So for this we have called pop msg function, right? See here, we have called another function, that is pop msg, right? See, on unload we are calling another function, that is pop msg. So what is there in pop msg? See, in pop msg we are creating function pop msg where we are displaying alert message, that is congratulations, practical successfully completed. The message which we have displayed on the status bar, now we are displaying it on the alert message. Got it? So see the output. This is the first SOP part 1, right? Now SOP part 2. In this, now page is loaded, right? When we allow our JavaScript program to execute, at that time only it starts changing the color, right? Red, blue. In this way it will change 7 colors, and when we close it, see, when we close this window, it will call a message, it will display a message, that is congratulations, practical successfully complete. This is a message you will get after unloading the page or after closing the web page. Okay, you will get this message. I hope you have understood. Now see the whole program, see the complete program. This is the SOP1, half part of first part of your program, right? See. Here, starting with doc type HTML, body, button, on mouse over is equal to fun1. This is the first function which is called when we move our mouse pointer on the button. Change background color, this is the label, this is the first button. Another button is change status. When we click on this button, it will call a function fun status, and in script part we are declaring two functions fun1. Okay, first part is fun1. So when we call a fun1 function, it will change the background color by using document.bg color, where C will always be in capital letter. Okay, document.bg color is equal to red. Then window.set timeout fun2, we are calling another function fun2 after 3000 milliseconds. This is the time limit in milliseconds. 1000 milliseconds is equal to 1 second. So 3000 milliseconds is equal to 3 seconds. After 3 seconds, it will call the function fun2. What is there in fun2? In fun2, we are again changing the background color into blue color, and we are calling another function fun3 after 3000 milliseconds. This way it will continue till 7 functions, and in 7 function we are going to call fun1 to create a cycle. Okay, and now the another part, on clicking on the another button, we are calling fun status function. So in fun status function, we are setting this status by using window dot status. Status is a property of this window object, where we are setting this status that congratulations, practical successfully completed. This is the second part. I hope you have understood this practical. Now second part of this, the second session is this one, where when you coding part, right click on this, open with notepad, right? So this is the coding part, where when the page gets loaded, at that time we are calling fun1, and when the page gets unloaded, at that time we are calling pop msg message. Okay, so in script part, first function, we have to create 7 functions to change the 7 colors, just like the previous example. And in pop msg, what we are doing, we are creating alert message, we are displaying alert message that congratulations, practical successfully completed. Got it? See the output once again. See, this is the first part. Active JavaScript. Now when we move our mouse pointer on this, it starts changing the colors. 7 color it will change after every 3000 milliseconds, change the color. Okay, and when we click on this, before clicking, the status is done. When we click on this, the status changes to congratulations, practical successfully completed. So this is the first part. Now second part is this one, where when the JavaScript enabled, that time only it will start changing the color automatically without clicking anywhere, without moving our mouse pointer. It start changing the color, right? And when we close it, it will display a message on the status bar. Sorry, it will display a message on the screen that congratulations, practical successfully completed. It is an alert box which will display when we close the web browser. Got it? So this is the whole SOP 1. Now we will stop here. In next lecture, inshallah, we will start with SOP 2. Okay, thank you so much.